Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I will be talking about education and research regarding beekeeping. So this is part of a series that I'm going to do on how to start beekeeping. It's going to be on a playlist on my channel, so you'll be able to go through that and watch all of them. This is the first video in the playlist, and it's sort of about learning about beekeeping before you actually invest in any equipment or any bees. So obviously it's really important when entering a hobby like beekeeping to know what it's about and to be fully interested in it before you fully invest into it, because beekeeping can cost upwards of £1,500 to get started with a couple of hives, and it's really good to know whether you actually want to do it before you go and spend that money. My first tip is to join a local beekeepers association. If you're in the UK, you will have a bee club, and I'm sure in other countries there's different clubs for beekeepers as well. But a bee club is just full of people who keep bees. They go to the club and they look after the club's bees as well, and that'll be on a site, on a farm or something. You can go and look at those bees, see the bees, inspect the bees before you actually buy your own bees. So it's really good to know whether you like the experience with the bees before you actually spend money on some of your own. So I would highly recommend going to a bee club. The meetings are normally once every couple of weeks, once a week, something like that. They will have a date in their calendar as well. They also normally have online lessons and stuff that you can do regarding starting beekeeping. They actually have a whole course where you can pay a bit of money, I think it's 20 or 30 quid, and you can join the whole bee club starter sessions, and it means that they get all the beginners and they take them through and they show them how to look at the hive, how to open the hive, how to spot the queen, basic stuff like that. They show them how to do that with the club's bees rather than you buying your own and messing around and probably making loads of errors. So I'd highly recommend joining a club. And then the second tip I'm going to give you is to get a bee mentor from that club. Okay, most of the people at the bee clubs, they're really friendly and they're really accommodating, and those are the people that you can ask the ridiculous questions to. And because beekeeping, when you start out, there are so many aspects to it, and like even finding the queen, which is like easy for someone like me who's kept them for a few years now, that can be a really tough challenge for new beekeepers or want to be beekeepers. So ask the mentor to go and have a look at his bees. I actually, a little personal story, I actually had a mentor in the village, and I actually went around on a Saturday after school, and I would go and check his bees with him. It was really good fun. We did some honey extracting as well. We were taking the honey off the hives. We got to see the whole hive through about 6 months before I actually got my own bees. So I spent a few months spending time with him, and we extracted some honey, and it was really fun, really rewarding, and I got to see how the beehive worked, how the frames were laid out, what was in a frame and stuff like that. It was just really useful for the future, and I found it really helpful, especially when I didn't know much, because when I got there I was like, you don't know how to open a beehive, you don't know if the bees are going to attack you loads, you don't know if they're going to be really calm, you basically don't know anything. It's like joining a hobby, you just start out knowing nothing, and that's fine, and they're very understanding. So my next tip is to watch YouTube videos and read books. Now reading books is useful, I found watching videos way more helpful than reading books, because I liked to visualize it more, and because beekeeping is a very tangible hobby, it's very useful to see what's going on, and there are so many manipulations in beekeeping, and I guarantee you someone will have made a video on all of them. Go and check out YouTube, type in how to start beekeeping, and if you watch videos like this will kind of help you have that background knowledge before you actually go and see the bees. So I found that really useful, and I would highly advise that you watch a lot of YouTube content. That's what I did. I watched loads of YouTube before I actually went to join the bee club, and I found that made a big difference in the future, because I knew some background stuff, and I actually knew a lot of bee stuff before I even went to see the mentor's bees in the village. I actually knew a lot of stuff about bees before I went off there, and it was useful because I would be able to inspect them and talk about it, and he was like, oh, that's cool, you already know some stuff. And then it was like, yeah, I've done my research. But yeah, so books as well. I read a few beekeeping books. I mean, There are so many beekeeping books, and some of them are really boring and hard to understand, and then some of them, Beekeeping for Dummies was quite good, and the Haynes Bee Manual, that was quite good as well. My mentor actually gave me a Haynes Bee Manual to use, to read before I ordered any bees or decided I actually wanted bees. So I found that really, really useful, and I think you will too, because it's just a real benefit to start up without having to spend a ridiculous amount of money. So that is about it for this video. I mean, it's important to know with beekeeping that there's a lot of stuff to it, and no one knows it all. I certainly don't know it all, and I think learning about beekeeping as much as you can before you spend any money at all is going to be really useful in the future, because beekeeping is expensive and you want to be 100% sure before you go out and spend loads of money. So that's a useful tip there. And that is about it for this video. If you got this far listening to me ramble, then please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you're notified of new videos. It really helps my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.